Oh, hello, I'm Francis Seeley from GlobalNet 21 and Infill Voices, and I'd like to welcome you to this webinar today. This is one of the many webinars we do that discuss some of the major issues that we face in our present century, and also one in the series that we've done looking at how we can cope with the crisis of COVID-19. And what we want to do is get over the message that it's important during this time to be positive, that positivity can help us get through it. And we're going to look at how that can happen. And we're going to do it through the eyes of Dr. Rosalind Mirror. Now, Rosalind is a GP. She's a part-time GP because she's expecting a baby. But she's also a writer and singer. And a writer and singer who's won a prize for the work that she does. And she's going to talk about how important it is to be positive, how we can do that, and how we can sort of almost return to our childhood and look at the things that were important to us then and use that to keep ourselves positive now. And so she's not only going to talk about that, but she's going to sing for us as well. And she's a comic singer. She's a satirical singer. So what she does is really interesting. And to help us with that, we have Hannah Dyson, who's going to interview Rosalind. So we'd like to thank Hannah for doing that with us today. Anyhow, let's get started with this video interview because it's really, really interesting. And we began by Hannah introducing Rosalind to us.
So welcome, Rosalind, to the webinar.
Hello, thank you for having me today.
Thank you very much for agreeing to be interviewed about this very important subject. Could you tell us about yourself a little bit, just so people can get to know you?
So I'm a GP and I work in Enfield. I also live in Enfield, at Highlands Medical Centre. I'm a part-time GP and I also moonlight as a singer-songwriter, and I write lots of songs, but I quite like writing comedy songs, which is not unusual, I think, if you're working in the NHS to want a bit of comedy. And, I live with my husband, and I'm currently 29 weeks pregnant, so I'm working remotely from home at the moment. Yes.
Well, congratulations, Rosalind. That's really lovely to hear such wonderful news about that. And could you tell us, what do you love about being a GP ordinarily?
Ordinarily. You know, it's a very privileged job because you get to speak to people and hear about their problems and try and help people as best you can. You know, as people tell me things and trust me with things that you wouldn't trust other people. So it's quite a lot of responsibility, and you know, it's not an easy job. It's a large volume of work, and it's important because you're trying to help people with their health, and but it's very privileged in that I have a job where I go every day and I try and help people, and that's my role. So yeah, there's a lot of challenges, especially at the moment, but you know, sometimes you get caught up in that, but there are times when you think, well, actually I am making a difference, I am helping people and doing my best. So I think that's important.
So do you think it's very important to remain positive even through like a very long, I know you have a very long working day, and obviously being a GP can be emotionally draining because of the subjects you're covering. How do you use positivity to navigate the challenges of your work?
Well, first of all, I want to say that certainly I'm not positive all the time. Speak to my husband. I mean, especially hormonal and grumpy. You know, we're all a bit up and down, and that's life. But and I'm quite an optimistic person. I think just even, you know, we deal with a lot of mental health as GPs, and you have to have some positivity. You have to believe that some things will get better, and you need a bit of motivation to carry on and continue. And I think most of the time people are depressed, things do get better with time. Time's the greatest healer, and we're obviously all going through a very difficult time in the world at the moment with this pandemic. But being positive and supporting other people can be very helpful to staying positive ourselves. It's difficult at the moment because obviously having community and people and hugs and things like that, there are so many things that we can't do. But I think hobbies and music and baking and there are always opportunities and always things that can be done. So I really try and be positive and spread that with my patients, with my family. But we all have grumpy moments, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right. I think sometimes not maybe negativity, but those kind of emotions that need to come out is like part of being a human being. Although it's important to be positive, there's also sometimes, especially with grief or a bad diagnosis, severe diagnosis. Do you think sometimes there is a healthy way of navigating through those difficult moments with positivity and letting the usual human emotions sort of come out a bit?
Everyone's obviously got different coping strategies for things. I think we all realise that life's very difficult, and this idea that's sold to us sometimes in the media, in film, in books, that everything's going to be perfect and wonderful is extra pressure on us. I don't think you have to be positive all the time, and I don't think you should feel that life should be perfect all the time.
Just those expectations as well.
Yeah, there's expectations that are worse. I think it's very important to be grateful and to think what we've got. At the moment, I'm quite cooped in because I'm pregnant and I'm got to social distance very, very strongly at the moment. And you go a bit stir crazy at home sometimes. And I've certainly had patients telling me this week they're finding it really challenging to be stuck at home because they've got to for their medical conditions. And you have to try and think of all the good things that you have in life, as well as all the things that we are lucky for, and you have to hope that things are going to get better. I don't know where that comes from, this positive idea that some people are more positive than others, some people are more resilient than others, you put up with more things, and it is a constant battle. But I think whatever strategies you can use to help with that is really good, especially at this moment, whether it's listening to meditation apps or putting on a song. Or me and my husband are really lucky, we do have a garden, but it's a tiny garden, and we've just been dancing around the garden, and we played I Spy the other day. We're adults, we're quite enjoyed that. Look, it's the broken plant pot and the watering can in the garden. Whatever you've got to do to try and be a bit childlike and find things that bring some joy to the day and bring a difference.
Yeah.
If you found things like that help in your life?
I have. I think definitely like writing poetry has really helped me when I've been cooped up with maybe a newborn or going for walks in the park. Would you be able to give us a song about being a GP? Because I know that one of your coping strategies is like writing music, and you've got a very beautiful voice. Would you be able to give us a little rendition of?
Funny, Hannah, I've got one just prepared here.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
It's funny, I was playing it this morning. So this is a song about being a GP, or we've called it Family Doctor, that I wrote with a doctor colleague and a few friends of mine. Oh. But I can't help feeling it's a bit, don't get me wrong, it's a silly song, but it's exaggerated of how it feels, because it is a difficult job. And some of this probably isn't relevant now because we're doing things in different ways, but I'll give you a song. This is called Family Doctor, okay?
Thank you.
Droopy microphone. You hear me okay? I didn't know my life would be like this when I signed up to be a GP. 11 years slogging to pass my exams, but it's not like on the TV. It's not my idea of fun to put my finger up your bum. I never found your smelly feet appealing. You told me all your problems, thought I had a magic wand, but I can't help you with your wife or fix the ceiling. I only have 10 minutes, but it takes you that long to undress. Please pick the most pressing issues. It's all I have time to assess. Why did I choose to be a family doctor? A family doctor. the NHS. You tell me your problems, now you're feeling better, and I'm left feeling depressed. The family doctor, your family doctor, I incubate in my little room. The lurgies and scabies you bring to me, I'm always sick, please God make me immune. I thought that I could save a life or two and get a boyfriend like George Clooney, but the only men chatting me up right now, I called the police on because they were older. I can't do patients anyway, because what would the GMC say? It's hard when Clooney lookalikes need healing. A gorgeous guy arrived in pain with discharge he could not explain. How gonorrhea cured that loving feeling. I were a doctor on telly, I'd have just one patient all day. There'd be romance and natural disasters. I'm sure I'd prefer things that way, but I became a real family doctor, a family doctor working for the NHS. You tell me your problems, now you're feeling better, and I'm left feeling depressed. A family doctor, your family doctor, I incubate in my little room. The bogies and lurgies you bring to me, I'm always sick, please God make me immune. This is the positive bit. This is the hot bit. It wasn't so bad when you bought me those chocolates for Christmas. And I felt my heart lift when you said your depression had gone. I was over the moon when I picked up your cancer so early. And you thanked me for saving your life. I guess that's why I carry on as your family doctor, working for the NHS. I picked up your baby, he looked really cute till he weed all over my dress. A family doctor, your family doctor, I sit thinking my little room. We're doing our best, please treat us well. If doctors and nurses' lives are hell, we'll be heading to ours where life is swell. Oh look, my next patient, George Clooney, has just cleared the blue. Hey George, how are you doing? You haven't got gonorrhea, have you? Or corona? Ebola? He's an old son, he's married now, isn't he?
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. You've got such a beautiful voice, and the words just really encapsulate what it's like, I can imagine, to be a GP. That's wonderful. So you keep positive by singing and writing. How have you worked on your singing over the years to improve, to get to the level that you are at now?
Well, I've always sung. Even when I was a little kid, I was really shy, and I think a lot of shy kids, it's weird that there's some reason that you like to perform and you like to get up and sing. So I've always done that, and then a few years ago I started taking some singing lessons. I had some wonderful singing teachers that were really helpful. So I do all sorts of musical theatre, and so they learned various techniques for singing. And I play piano and ukulele as well. So, you know, it's something I work on. I still have the occasional like an acting, singing class over Zoom at the moment, but that improves my week at the moment. My husband knows on a Sunday he can hear in the other room all sorts of wailing and singing as it's coming out. You know, as we all do this Zoom lesson. But just an hour of singing, I think, can be really beneficial for mental health. It's really wonderful.
I wonder if there's any evidence-based research that says that it does something to your body, that or your hormones, that makes you happy.
I mean, I think there is, particularly singing in choirs and groups. So it's a bit sad at the moment that that's not something that's so easy to achieve. I used to work in a GP surgery. They had a Parkinson's choir, people with Parkinson's disease, and it really helped with breathing as well. I mean, I'm quite breathless at the moment because I've got this bump baby, so it's harder and harder. But even then, having a good sing, I think it's just really helpful if you just stick on the radio and just sing along to your favourite song. I think it's a really great way to feel a bit better.
And I just realised also that it will help you bond with your unborn baby, because the baby will be able to recognise your beautiful singing voice and all the songs that you're doing. So when they're born, they'll maybe be calmer when you start singing.
I hope so. My mum's got this theory. She's like, why you're musical is because when you were a baby, I'd come in and I'd sing to you. Don't you remember? Do you remember this song? What is this? Maybe, me and my husband do a lot of singing. She's not moving at the moment. Sometimes she particularly likes things and responds, but
she's lucky to have such cool parents.
We're so uncool. It can be cool, I would say. Not cool.
Yeah, that's really lovely. And obviously, you won a recent talent contest, and you are now an award winner. Congratulations on that too. Could you tell us a little bit about the talent contest that you recently won?
Well, it's within. I'm Jewish. It's within the Jewish community. They did a Jews Got Talent, which was really a wonderful contest they did for charity. It's a bit like Britain's Got Talent, but 10 million times smaller. So I auditioned with a son, because I was meant to do it last year with a band I was in, and I had to have surgery, so I had to cancel or drop out of that. So I auditioned this year, and there were some wonderful acts. There were all sorts of dancers and comedians and singers, and I didn't think I was going to win a million times. I said to my husband before they did the judging, I said, can we go now? Let's go. He said, oh, let's just wait 5 minutes. So there's a video of me winning going, what? He really confused. But it was really lovely, because I've been writing songs and performing for a long time, and I just hoped it would give me a bit of notoriety and maybe the opportunity to get some more gigs or to do a bit more of that, besides the other things that I do.
Like raise your profile.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing, Hannah. Appreciate it.
I thought it was only singing in that contest. I didn't realise there was lots of different types of acts in. There
was a wonderful little girl that did some dancing, and or they just wanted it's like a variety show, you want all sorts of different things. So I suppose I do music, and I also do comedy, so it bridges both categories.
It's amazing. What did you get? Did you get like a stone award, or was it like something you could put on your?
I got a little glass trophy. I'll give you the song later if you want. It was a song about my mother, which my mother didn't come. You'll see why. And so they gave me a little glass winner's trophy, which we stuck up on the bookshelf. It was just really lovely, because I think in life, that positivity, you get so many knockbacks and so many rejections and things that you don't. It's very rare to actually win something. So when you do, you've really got to try and enjoy it and savor it. Yeah,
because music's been a part of your life for quite a long time, and you've obviously tried to improve it. So would your advice be to anybody who has like a dream or a hope or a wish that they should just remain positive, especially through the coronavirus outbreak, and just don't give up and just keep going with what you enjoy?
Yes, I think it's really important to keep going. I mean, I often say to my husband, though, I think this music is so difficult to get anywhere with, and obviously people that are performers at the moment are really struggling because all that industry is not working, but people are still finding ways to do something, and improve their skills, learn courses. I want to learn how to make videos and on the computer so that I can make videos of songs that I've written. So there's always opportunity, although, I'm very lucky that I also have another job. Otherwise we'd be really struggling at the moment. So my heart goes out to everyone that's a professional performer at the moment, because it's very, very tough.
Yeah, that's probably why it's always good to have two different skills or two different jobs, and have something to go back on. If that's what I always say to my 9-year-old, who's thinking about what she might do in the future. And I said, well, in a way, if you work for the NHS, there's lots of, even if you have to work in different roles in the NHS, it's something to fall back on if something like coronavirus does happen. And so, so when you won You've Got Talent, what was the song about that you sang?
So it's a song called Find Yourself a Husband, Please.
Ah.
It's about, I think, people that identify with it are often single women with sort of various ethnic backgrounds, because I think a lot of us get a lot of pressure from our parents about being single. And I have friends that are single that have a wonderful time, but you'll see in the song, but I think we all have parents and people around us that sometimes put pressure on us and are trying to say things in a nice way, but sometimes it doesn't come out that way. So it was a very heartfelt song. It feels very odd singing it now because obviously I got married in November, and life's very different now. My parents have to think of other things to talk about.
That'll be the baby soon, I think.
But the song was... Sorry?
It'll be about the baby soon. They'll have something else to...
Yeah. I wrote one about morning sickness a few months ago because I was really suffering with that as well. So I just, writing songs for me is a form of therapy. And I think if you can laugh about it and you can find the funny side, it's really helpful for me, but it's also helpful for people that hear the song and they identify, and you feel less alone. You feel, well, these are experiences that so many people are going through.
Yeah. Of all ages, I think, from teenagehood until 1900.
Yeah, I'm also working on a musical which is based in a self-help retreat. And my co-writer Jess, we're working on that. And that's the same sort of thing. We just wanted to bring people's experiences in, and if you see that and hear that, it kind of validates you, and you realise that there are other people in exactly the same situation.
Yeah, and I'm sure your music brings a lot of happiness to many people who will watch it and think they can relate to it. Okay, so would you be able to sing us the Find a Husband song?
Yes, I was singing my Find Myself a Husband song. So this is, I think, it's dedicated to my mother. It's a slightly exaggerated version, obviously. I love my mother dearly and she loves me dearly. But
Lovely, thank you.
Okay.
Looking forward to this.
Okay. Have my arm around the... Oh, darling, we only want you to be happy, your father and I. Oh, darling, you're not getting any younger and life is passing you by. Even fat women get married, sometimes the ugly ones too. Who's that friend of yours from high school? She's married. Why not you? A husband doesn't have to be so handsome or tall or smart at this stage. We don't care if he's not Jewish. Does he have a beating heart? I'm not saying you're a failure. No. Just that you never succeed. Come on, make yourself happy. J-Swipe, there's an appy. Find yourself a husband, please. La 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 la. Or maybe I am wrong, sweetheart. Is there something we don't know? Do you prefer women, sweetheart? If you're a lesbian, please let us know. Really? No? Haven't you tried it? Why don't you try it? I guess you won the bet, dear. Oh, baby, how I long to have a grand grandchild before I die. Baby, better get a move on, sweetheart. Those eggs are in short supply. Conception has quite a small window. Are there even eggs left to freeze? Come on, make yourself happy. Better make it snappy. Find yourself a husband, please. La 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 la. Every friend that we have has their daughters getting hitched. No one asks for your hand, sweetheart. Can't you get some poor schmuck to commit? La 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 la. So find yourself a husband, unless you want to die alone. Find yourself a husband. How else will you afford a London home? Find yourself, by all means, find yourself. But find yourself a husband first.
Yes, that was fantastic, Rosalind. It was brilliant. I just loved every minute of it.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a bit about the search for a husband? So how did you meet your now husband, Daniel?
So it was a long tale of missed opportunities. So I met my husband quite well. I don't know, late these days, but fairly late on. We met years ago, and I had this weird feeling that he was just really sweet and really lovely. And then we had loads of missed opportunities. He used to write really dull articles on financial things, and I liked them all on Facebook. And eventually he realised and said, "Oh, can I have your number?" And then, can you hear me? So eventually he asked for my number, and then he never phoned me, and it just went on for years and years. And then we matched on a, as many people do these days, on a dating app. And I thought, well, I've always liked him, but does he like me? And I just had my heart broken by someone, and we matched, and it went from there. You look back, you have periods of life, and you think you're never going to meet anybody. Perhaps I did, and then you meet someone and you really click, and they're very kind and very loving, and you have a lot of fun, and you think, well, that's why it never worked with anyone else. So it was a long process.
It's almost like once you start communicating and being not honest, but once you start getting that dialogue going, then you could begin your life together almost.
Yeah, and I also think we both changed a lot as people. I think you meet the person you're meant to be with at the right time, and I think had we met a few years earlier and really communicated properly, it might not have worked. I feel very blessed. Things have happened.
Because that was the missing jigsaw puzzle. You have your career, you've got everything there. You just needed somebody to share that beautiful life with, I think. Yeah,
it's like I'm very lucky. It's like having my best friend around. And also it's, we've been cooped up together for weeks, and we still are fine as long as I don't make him do DIY when he gets very good. Everyone has fights over DIY, but we're getting on really well, which is really lucky, because I think it's hard for people if you're indoors with them all the time and you don't have those breaks. But I'm very blessed.
Oh, a really good team together. And and also, how does fashion sort of, obviously you've got your husband, and how does fashion mean positivity to you?
Fashion, sorry.
Like like what you wear, like say for example your wedding dress, or if
I love dresses. And I love hand clothes, and I love eBay and charity shops. And I have an extensive wardrobe of things bought in second, like 50s and 40s dresses, reproduction dresses, things from eBay. My poor husband moved in, and he's got about half a wardrobe because it's all full of my clothes. But these, I find, I put on makeup today, because sometimes if you sit at home in your pajamas all day, you get a bit sad. So for me at the moment, it's whatever can fit, because obviously I'm getting bigger and bigger as the days go on. But 50s, 40s and 50s dresses are quite forgiving, because they all nip in and then they go out. So you've got all this room for bumps and things. So finding it's quite good. But you know, I know I'm quite passionate about buying things secondhand and trying to not waste resources and, you know, recycle, although I don't know what's going on with that at the moment because of everything, but
it's changed. I think if you went on Marketplace or eBay before, you wouldn't really think about infection control, but now people really think twice. It's definitely interesting about how what you wear, or makeup or clothes, can actually change how you feel. So that can bring positivity to your life if you're struggling in lockdown during a crisis. And it's been great talking to you, Rosalind. It's gone so fast. We're coming to the end of this webinar now, but I think I wanted to finish by asking you, if people want to start writing songs or improving their voice like you have done over the years, how would you say they should go about it?
Thank you so much for having me, of course. There are many ways. I think finding a good singing teacher who builds up your confidence is really, really wonderful. I used to have a lovely singing teacher called Katrina, who worked, and I had no confidence in singing, and she really found my voice and gave me that. So I think finding someone that believes in you and can teach you technique as well as confidence, even if it's over Zoom, you know, and just singing lots, listening to lots of music. And in terms of songwriting, there's loads of things. There's online, there's this thing I do sometimes called Form, February Album Writing Month, which is an online group of people that write songs in February, but they're also doing it now, and they do other challenges, and people share music and they collaborate online, and all over the world people are writing things. I mean, you just start, you sit down, you hum a tune, you write some words, you see how you feel. It's amazing. You sit down and suddenly you've got something that's created that didn't exist, you know. It's a really wonderful thing, I think, to be creative. They would be tips, really.
Creativity can bring positivity in a time of crisis, and maybe more. Do you think more people should definitely be starting to think about expressing themselves in that way?
I think about what you really enjoyed doing when you were a kid. What made you happy? Was it gardening? Was it jumping in puddles? Was it drawing or singing or painting? Whatever it is. And I think that those things that you like when you're a kid, often they're still there in you, and you've just got to give yourself permission to find a way to play around with it. And you have a few hours of just getting involved in flow and doing something and taking your mind off everything else.